I mean, these are Republican states that are gaining electoral votes. And it's not like, oh, it's from Ohio or Iowa that are losing electoral votes. No, the states losing these votes, it's California. What is up, people of the internet? It is me, Real American, back in with a new video, and I hope everyone is having a great day. I'm having a great day myself, and before I get into it, don't forget to like, subscribe, share with your friends, and of course, join the channel today. These are all great ways to support the daily content, but enough of the promotional stuff. Let's get into it because we have to talk about the future of American politics, and I know the 2024 election was, what, a month ago? And yeah, Trump won. Everyone knows that Trump completely changed the map, but it seems kind of early to talk about like 2032, 2036, and way down the line. I know it seems kind of crazy to do so, but there was a brand new forecast for the upcoming census, and if these estimates are anywhere near true, the Democrat Party is in deep trouble. Now, like I said, these are just estimates. A lot of things can change. Like, who knows, maybe there's a random state like, I don't know, Missouri or Kentucky that has a surge in population. Anything could happen, and it could change the census a little bit more, but this is the current estimates for the apportionment, which is what states gain or lose electoral votes. And you notice something very apparent. The vast majority of the electoral votes that are being swung towards one state to the other, they're going from Democrat states to Republican states. And not just a one or two here and there. No. Look at this. +1 in Idaho, +1 in Utah, +1 in Arizona, +4 in Texas and Florida. So that's 11 electoral votes that are going to Republican states. And the only one that's relatively competitive is Arizona. Texas and Florida, we all know they are becoming Republican strongholds yet again. Utah is very Republican. I know it's been shifting left, but it's still going to be a Republican state. Same thing with Idaho. I mean, these are Republican states that are gaining electoral votes. And it's not like, oh, it's from Ohio or Iowa that are losing electoral votes. No, the states losing these votes, it's California. They lose 3. New York, they lose 2. Rhode Island, they lose 1. Illinois, they lose 1. Oregon, they lose 1. So, in other words, the deep Democrat states, they're losing more and more people. Therefore, they're losing more electoral votes. While Republican states like Texas, like Florida, they're gaining a lot. And if these trends hold up, which again, it can accelerate. There's been some estimates out there that say, hey, maybe Republicans gain 1 in North Carolina, Tennessee, South Carolina. These states are growing quickly. So there's a chance they could gain even more if these populations do in fact keep growing as fast as they are. Like Florida. So many people are moving to Florida every single day at this point that it would not surprise me if we're actually undercounting Florida's, electoral votes. A lot could change. It seems kind of crazy, but that's the current estimates as of now. Now, let's really look at the map because I don't think people really understand how big of a deal this is. Now, let's just assume that these 6 states, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Georgia, Arizona, and Nevada, let's just assume, okay, they're kind of the main swing states. Obviously, states like Arizona and Nevada, they look good for Republicans. States like Pennsylvania looks good for the GOP as well, and who knows, maybe Republicans down the line, they could win a place like, I don't know, New Jersey. But let's just focus on the main 6. Well, right now, the Republicans start with 235 in the Electoral College. That means for them to win the presidency, they need to win Arizona, Georgia, and Wisconsin. Now, that's the easiest pathway. Well, I guess there's an easier pathway. You could win through Georgia and Pennsylvania, but this pathway is very unlikely. Like, is it possible? Yeah, but more than likely, if you win Georgia, you're probably winning Arizona, and hell, you're probably winning Nevada. Therefore, you just win any of the Rust Belt states, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, doesn't matter. You win the presidency. No matter what happens, you get above 270 under this map. Well, that's the current map, right? Republicans need to win Georgia, Arizona, and Wisconsin. They got the presidency. Again, you can win through Pennsylvania, but that's the easiest pathway. Well, let's just say, fine. these estimates are correct. And Republicans, they really gained 4 in Florida, gained 4 in Texas, 1 in Utah, 1 in Idaho. Well, you go to the new map, and Republicans start at 245, which is a net swing of roughly 10 electoral votes from 2024. That's a big swing. In fact, under this current map, if Republicans win, let's just say Georgia, all right, let's just say they win the state of Georgia. Well, in this scenario, they can win any of the states except Nevada. If they win Arizona, Wisconsin, Michigan, or Pennsylvania, doesn't matter. They win the presidency. So theoretically, you just win Arizona, which more than likely is the most Republican of the 6 swing states. Well, there you go. You don't need a single state in the Rust Belt, which is a big deal because under the current map, yeah, you can win through Georgia, but you have to win one of the Rust Belt states no matter what. You have to win Pennsylvania. Well, under this current map, or the expected map, Republicans, they don't even need Pennsylvania. They don't even need Michigan. They don't need Wisconsin. They just win Arizona and Georgia, and well, they win the presidency. So Democrats could run the table, win every swing state, but under the current map, or the new map, Republicans win the presidency by a couple electoral votes. In this scenario, Democrats, they have to run the table. If they lose Georgia or Arizona, like let's say they lose Arizona, well, in this current scenario, they basically have to run the table. They have to win Pennsylvania, they have to win Michigan, they have to win Georgia, and they have to win either Wisconsin or Nevada just to barely win the Electoral College. I mean, that's just think about that. If Republicans get this current map, which is going to happen more than likely, it could be even worse for Dems, who knows, but Republicans would have such a big advantage in the Electoral College that if they just target 2 states, Georgia and Arizona, which that's not what they're going to do, but they just need 2 states, and that's it. They just need 2 of the swing states, with Arizona being very Republican, and Georgia, even though trends are looking bad for the Republicans there, they can still win it. So under the new map, the Republican pathway to the presidency is very simple. And if you're the Democrat Party, you start to panic quite a bit because it doesn't matter what happens in the Rust Belt now. It does not matter whatsoever. If Republicans just win these 2 states in the Sun Belt, which they're looking good in both of them, especially Arizona, that's it. That's a wrap. They have to find a way to win one of those 2, or find a miracle in, I don't know, North Carolina, which is super unlikely, but fine, I guess. Maybe it's possible. Either way, the new map for the Electoral College looks awful for Dems. It looks horrendous. I mean, this is bad. And we're not even talking about states like New Jersey, New Mexico, New Hampshire, Minnesota, states that in 2024, excuse me, they swung dramatically to the right. I mean, if you're the Democrat Party, this map is bad enough because it proved that, yeah, Kamala Harris was a shit candidate. The Democrat Party is not popular. People support Trump's agenda, and they gave him a mandate. But now, the Electoral College looks even worse because now they don't even need Pennsylvania. Like, yeah, if they win Pennsylvania, they win. But under the current map, they win either Pennsylvania or Georgia. Well, in that scenario, it does not matter. In fact, you just win Pennsylvania, you can win any of the other 5, including Nevada, to win the Electoral College, because we all know if it's 269, it goes to the House, and right now, Republicans have the advantage. The way they do in the House, Republicans would win. So, if you're the Democrat Party, you're sweating bullets right now. You're like, what the hell do we do? This map looks horrific for us. We cannot afford to lose anything. We have to run the table. We cannot lose Pennsylvania. We cannot lose Georgia. Cannot lose Michigan. And even then, it would not be enough, right? In this current map, they win these 3. Well, guess what? Republicans would win. They would get 272. And compare that to the current map. If Democrats win Georgia, Pennsylvania, and Michigan, it's over. They got the presidency. They won. But now, it's not enough. They would lose. That's why this is a big deal. And I know a lot of things could change, but these are the new estimates. And there's been some estimates thrown out there where Republicans might gain even more. They might gain one in Tennessee. They might gain one in South Carolina, North Carolina maybe. Which, if that happens and Democrats lose even more from Illinois and California, which they might, I mean, there's a lot of people moving out of those states, well, Republicans could have such an easy pathway to the presidency, it could become extremely difficult for any Democrat to win the White House. Just because Democrats have to win everything, but Republicans, they win 2 states, and that's it. And we're not talking about some very unlikely scenario like, oh, he wins Georgia and Pennsylvania and wins, which technically that is the easiest pathway under the current map, but it's very unlikely. But under the new map, which would be 2032, Republicans, they need, if they win either Pennsylvania or Georgia, they just need one more state. It doesn't matter which state it is, and they win the presidency. I mean, this is, if you're the Democrat Party, you're panicking right now. I mean, this is not good. This is DEFCON 1. Because we're not talking about, oh, it's very unlikely that this happens. No, it's going to happen. Unless something crazy occurs and the population estimates are wrong, which it could happen. Maybe something crazy occurs and California and New York, they see a surge in population growth. But more than likely, it's not going to happen. And if it doesn't happen, and in fact it could be even worse than this, well, Republicans, they have such an easy pathway. They just got to win 2 states. They just got to win 2 states under not just one scenario, like, oh, they got to win Georgia and Pennsylvania. No, if they win Georgia or Pennsylvania, they can win anything else. That gives them a bunch of opportunities. And that means Democrats, they have to win everything else just to barely win. This is not good. I mean, this is, if you're the Democrat Party, things could happen. Maybe North Carolina could flip. I don't know. But the fact that we're even talking about North Carolina having to flip to save Democrats, that is awful. That is like, oh crap, they are screwed. That is awful for Dems. And if that happens where they have to win North Carolina, they're screwed. Their chances of winning are dead. In fact, we're not even talking about states like New Mexico, Minnesota, New Jersey. They might be the future swing states. And if that happens, not only do Democrats have to win everything, but they have to win states like New Jersey to barely win the presidency. Imagine saying that 5 years ago. Yeah, down the line, New Jersey, Minnesota, New Mexico, they could be the new swing states. Which, if that happens, they become swing states, which they're not for sure going to become swing states. But if they do, well, do you think a Democrat could win? If they had to defend, like, every single state, and Republicans, they just got to focus on 2 of them. And that's it. They got the presidency locked down. If that happens, Democrats, they're done. At the presidential level for the next couple of years, if this map does happen where Republicans gain this many electoral votes in Texas and Florida, and again, that's a big deal. It's not like these electoral votes are going to Georgia. They're going to Florida. That's a Republican state. They're going to Utah, Texas, Idaho. The only swing state that's even gaining electoral votes is Arizona. And well, in 2024, Arizona was the most Republican swing state. Trump won it by 5.5. So, even the swing state that's gaining electoral votes, it's a Republican-leaning state. Anyways, folks, thank you so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the social media accounts in the description down below, and of course, join the channel today. Godspeed to all of you.